Fellow farmers and friends, welcome back to the Misled Farms channel. We are back here on the farm in Frankenmuth, and we are looking to further our progress here in our Start From Scratch series, but I would be completely amiss if I didn't take some time out here early on in the video to take a moment and share a huge thank you to all of the absolutely overwhelming amount of support on the channel recently. It's been insane. I'm trying to do my best to keep up with everything and you know, acknowledge comments, reply to comments, and do everything that I can do. The beginner series guide it's taken off. I don't know. I don't have the words. I really don't have the words to describe how just the feeling behind it. I really don't. So a big thank you to all of you who have recently subscribed to the channel, been showing support on the beginner series guide videos, the Let's Play series videos, just the content in general. Just thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you're new to the channel, what we do here is pretty simple. We play Farming Simulator. We play Farming Simulator and we enjoy ourselves. We have a Let's Play series like this one here on the Frankenmuth Farms map. We have beginner's guides, and we've recently added live streams to the rotation, which I do need to schedule the next live stream. So stay tuned for that. That should be coming. We'll try to get one knocked out this weekend, hopefully. Yeah, again, if you're new here, be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're not already to the channel. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into episode 3 here on Frankenmuth Farms. And what is it today that we're going to be doing on Frankenmuth Farms? Well, we need to take a look at making some investments into our farm. And those investments are going to help us in the long run here in Frankenmuth. Ultimately, the investments that we're looking to make here, hopefully in this episode, are going to be something that we're going to see a return on. We're going to see a profit on in the long run. And so what we're going to do, hopefully within this episode, I'm hoping everything kind of goes according to plan here. I've not trial and errored this, so it's going to be something that, I mean, we're kind of shooting from the hip here, and we're just going to hope that we can accomplish what we need to accomplish. And I'll take a minute to explain that here shortly. First of all, though, what we really can do is we can sell this tent. We're good with this. We don't need this anymore. We are done with the garden lounge. We can go ahead and sell that. Get ourselves $249 in return. Watch out now. Watch out. Let me go ahead and fix up this ground here just a little bit so it looks a little bit more natural and does not have any remnants of us staking out here outside of the farm store. Go with some plants, get some meadow grass in here, and oh yeah, that's looking really natural. Really natural. Blends in really well with the rest of the map, if I do say so myself. Perfect. Never knew we were here except for the 4,000 liters of fertilizer that we have just casually being stored outside of the farm shop. So what I have done is I have accepted some contracts. Now I know contracts are, yeah, they're not fun to watch, and I'll do my best. I'm going to edit some stuff out. I'll cut some stuff together for you so that you're not watching me plow more fields or do more fertilizing contracts, but this is what we have. Currently, today, we are going to work on field 24. We're going to fertilize that. It's not going to take us very long at all to get that field fertilized. It's an easy $28,000, $28.5 thousand almost. Then we have 2 plowing contracts on field 13 and field 34, one of which is going to go for just shy of $22,000 and the other just over $19,000. So my quick math says that we are going to make pretty close to about $68,000 off of these contracts. Now, the downfall here is we're going to lease some of our own equipment to do some of these contracts with because I want to get through them as fast as possible. That's really it. It's a very yeah, just irrelevant reason, but I'm thinking what we do is we lease the T7. The T7 is going to be the tractor that we will use on all of the contracts, both the plowing and the fertilizing contract. I'm not concerned about horsepower because we know that we have some ways to make the plow work to where it just ignores power requirements. So yeah, with that, nothing else really needs to be changed on this. So let's go ahead and lease the T7. $11,000. Holy good Lord. So that makes it to where we're going to net about 55,000 off of all this field work. Okay, this might still work out. This might still work out. Now let's go take a look at our plows. We already know what we're doing here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going with the 9 meter. I mean, it's a given. 9 meter plow, $19,000. Leasing it for, let's just say, 1,000. Done deal. Picking it up. Now we need some fertilizer, or I guess I should say a fertilizer spreader. So let's get in here. I think what we're gonna do for capacity wise, yeah, I think we're just gonna go with the old Kubota. 10,000 liters coming in, and we lease that for $1,500. So we are what? We're into it for about 13 grand based off equipment. And oh, where are my? Oh, I know where my vehicles are. All right, hold on. That's much better. And then, like an idiot, I just spent money on delivery costs to have the equipment delivered to our farm. But here we are. So we got our New Holland T7 that is going to be utilized throughout all 3 of these contracts: Kubota fertilizer spreader and our Lizard 9 meter plow. Now, the only thing that's really missing is we need some fertilizer. So what we're gonna do is, so I don't have to worry about this again, just reset our vehicle delivery point. And let's go into some big bag pallets here. We're gonna do liftables, of course, just because. Oh, wait. We already have fertilizer. I don't know if we have enough for the contract, but we're gonna use up what we currently have on hand. I mean, I know, I want to say, let's take a look at the contracts. So for the fertilizing contract, is saying that the usage is going to be 4,300 liters. But if we've learned anything from previous contracts, it's not always the case, right? It's just not it. It's not it. So let's roll up here. We're going to load up with how much ever fertilizer we have here. And this is what we're going to take and roll out to the fields with. We should probably have just under 4,000 liters. Probably not even 3,500 liters, if I had to guess, of fertilizer available. Should we just buy one more? I think we buy one more. It gives us the required amount that it's calling for, and we just roll from there. So let's do that. Let's just get one more. We'll just buy the one. We'll fill up on this. And the nice thing is I can actually take the plow with me. I can just attach it to the front of the tractor. Hey, this is gonna work out, I think. Thinking this might just work out for us. So we're underway with fertilizing field 24 here. And so I was mentioning earlier, like the investment in the farm, right? And so what we really need to kind of focus on getting accomplished is we need some fields that we can call our own. We need to be able to start producing our own product to make our own money with, so that we can kind of start to break away from having to rely all the time on just doing contracts in order to make money. I think I've got a pretty good idea of what we're going to do for that initial investment. So if we take a look here, let me not jump out of my tractor. I fully meant to hire an AI worker. No, what is going on? No, stop. No, what are we doing? Bro, stop everything. Well, all right, after having a little chat with our AI worker and letting him know that kind of behavior is never going to be tolerated here on Misled Farms. Yeah, I just let him go. We're going to take a quick time out from fertilizing field 24, and I'm going to explain to you guys how this investment is going to work for us. So, looking at our map here, we see currently right now we purchased this land right here. We've talked about utilizing 53 and 51 for animal pen locations for in the future. Now, I did a little bit of guesstimation here and determined that 51's really not that much area. And if we take a look at area 15, where our farmhouse and our barns currently are, we have this whole grass area right here where I feel like we can put in a silo system, for an example. We can just kind of extend our roadway out, put some silos in there. Feel like we're going to have plenty of space to knock that out. this area here in between these two barns in this corner, I feel like we might be able to plant some grass and probably just put a chicken pen in right there and have the chickens right on the farm. Now, that kind of brings us into plot 51. It's really not as large as we think that it is. I mean, if it's working with field 53 or plot 53 right here, yes, we have plenty of space. We could eventually, if this was the route we took, we could put our silo systems over here in 51. We could probably even put our chickens over here and likely our sheep, and then just dedicate plot 53 to just putting cow pen down and raise all of our cattle over here on plot 53. But I have a different idea. I'm thinking if we purchase field 22, which is currently a barley field, it's $127,000 for this field. It's 4.1 hectares, and our expected yield potential that you can see there is about 97%, which I'm going to talk about yield potential here a little bit more in detail here in just a second. But now if we look and we purchase plot 51, why don't we just plow these together and make this one big whole barley field? We'd have, I'm going to guess and say, pretty close to a 5 hectare farm, which wouldn't be too bad. And realistically, if we look at the size of field 22 combined with area 51 or plot 51, you can see here that it would actually be significantly larger. So basically with this is field 22 that's already planted with barley. But if we just came off in a straight line, almost to the ditch, and then just straight lined over to this corner, we'd be adding that much barley to this field, which means we're going to pull that much more off of this field come harvest time, which means we're going to make that much more money off of this barley. Whether we decide to just straight up sell it or we want to convert it in and make it flour, options are limitless what we can do with that. But it is going to be a little expensive. It's going to be about $150,000 for us to accomplish that. But the investment in the long run is what I'm more concerned about. We need our own fields. Then we need to start being able to look at getting some equipment for our farm, because it doesn't make, we can have all the field land that we want to have, but if we don't have the equipment to manage the farm, that's a whole nother thing. We're just going to kind of hamstring ourselves into always needing to lease equipment, which gets pretty expensive depending on what you're doing or what you're leasing. So I'm looking at it and I'm thinking initially field 22 with plot 51 is probably the way that we're going to end up going. It gives us a substantially large field to get started on. Next season, we don't necessarily need to go back to planting barley. We could put a whole nother style crop down. We could go to wheat. We could go to oat. Oat does make a little bit more money. But and the nice thing is right now is field 22 was just planted with barleys, which means we would actually have to make this money this month in this episode. Before we move to October, we would need to make that money to purchase not only field 22, but also plot 51. Then we would have to plow all that up. We'd have to seed it with some barley so that it would maintain the whole entire field at that point in the same growth stage so that we can harvest that field next year in the summer. I should say late summer, but we'll see. For right now, we have a lot of work on these contracts to do. So I'm going to go ahead and finish fertilizing field 24, and then we're going to move over and get field 13 and field 34 plowed up, and I'll catch up with you guys when all of that work is completed. All right, the fertilizing contract is completed. I've yet to collect any money on the fertilizing contract. I was going to come over here and start on this plowing contract and wanted to talk to you guys about our intentions for use of precision farming in this series. Now, it is my goal to utilize precision farming to its full potential in the Frankenmuth farm series, and I've probably mentioned it before. I think I did in an earlier video that we would be utilizing precision farming. It is a downloadable mod, and which, speaking of mods, I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but I am going to do a beginner's guide for downloading mods for both console and for PC. For console players, it's a lot easier than what you would probably think. PC players, we kind of get Nothing against the console world, but PC players kind of get the best of both worlds, where they can download mods directly from in-game, and they can go to the Farming Simulator Mod Hub website, and they can download mods from there as well. Just if you go to the website to download them, it's a completely different process to get them to work in-game. But I digress. Back to the point of precision farming. I want to utilize it because it helps us to make more money. We can increase our yields off some of the fields that we have, and there's just so much benefit to it. But primarily, it is increasing our yields. That's the biggest thing that we need to be focusing on right now, is how do we increase our yields so we can make more money or put more product into productions. So once we do make enough money to purchase field 22 and plot 51, it is very, very likely that shortly thereafter we're going to do any necessary field work immediately that we have to do, but then we are going to get our soil samples taken. I'll walk you guys through the whole precision farming process. I have done some explanations about it in past videos, but I'll take you guys through that whole entire process, show you how to get started with precision farming. It's very simple, it's very fun. It adds a new dynamic to the game, if I'm being completely honest. I like that. I like the dynamic that precision farming does bring to the game. Now, again, it's kind of one of those things, like, depending on how much realism you want to have in your gameplay, farming, or I'm telling you, it's been a long day. It's been a long day. Please bear with me as I am all over the place. I totally get it. It adds as much realism to the game as you would want. If precision farming is something that you want to do, and you want to manage lime, fertilizer, and seed rates and all that kind of stuff in order to increase your yield and have a higher harvesting output, that's awesome. If precision farming is something that you feel like is just going to be too much work, it's maybe a little bit too much for you in your gameplay, you don't have to use it. Again, it just goes back to all the things I've said about Farming Simulator in the past, that the game is just so enjoyable in a multitude of different ways. Again, you can just enjoy just doing simple farming tasks, such as plowing fields like this. Maybe if your thing is harvesting, you like to do harvesting. Maybe you just like to mow grass. Maybe some of you are doing some series or some Let's Plays, some start from scratches, so on and so forth. There's just, the options are limitless. I could talk about it for the rest of this video and just drone on and on about it, but I love the game. Love the game. I have a blast playing it, and yeah, passionate about it. Passionate about it. So yeah, precision farming's coming. We just need to make enough money to get the equipment, or to at least lease the equipment. Now, full disclosure, I do have some mods installed, of course, that are going to help us take our soil samples a little quicker than what they normally would, just using the stock Iseria Pro soil sample system. But yeah, I mean, we're not going to cheat too bad, but at the same point, we're kind of going to cheat just a little bit, especially on the soil samples, just to expedite the process, make it a lot easier for ourselves. So as we approach what I'm assuming to be probably about, what, 20 to 30% complete? I'm not even going to say 20 yet. Probably closer to 15% complete on field 13, which actually was not that far from field 24. And I'm going to drive right into this ditch again. I'm going to continue working on this contract, get this one completed, and I'm going to roll over to field 34 and get that plowed as well. And then there's our 20% completion. And then once all three of these contracts are done, I'll join back up with you guys. We'll turn it in. We'll see how much money we make. And then, yeah, we just need to put a game plan together from there regarding how we're going to get the rest of the money for purchasing this land. Because if I remember correctly, in episode 1, when we discussed the rules for this series, taking a loan was not an option. But we'll see. It's going to be worth it. We'll catch up with you in a bit. So we are approaching the end of field 34 here for the contract to get this field plowed up. Should be getting the contract complete notification here any second now, I would hope. Please. Hello? Bueller? Yes, there it is. Contract on field 34 finished. Adrian Hooper grants you 5% discount for future field purchases. Good to go. Good to go. So those contracts actually didn't take us too long, but you might notice, the keen eye may observe, that we turned our time down to 0.5. That is because, let me go ahead and pull off the side of the road here so I'm not in everyone's way. If we take a look at these 3 contracts here, which we're gonna turn all these in, we're gonna grab the money off these and see where we stand as far as working towards purchasing our 2 fields. So let's just go ahead and collect, and collect. That brings us up to $102,000. Now, we're not quite there yet. We're close, but we're not quite there yet. $102,000 is not even enough money to buy Field 22 as is right now. We could go ahead and purchase Field 51 and then just seed it with barley. It's only $22,000. And then after we lease a seeder, after we lease some seed, I mean, there's still a lot of things that we have to do to get Field 51 prepped and ready. Otherwise, what we could do is just forego for right now, buying plot 51, and we could just focus on purchasing Field 13, which means we really only need to make about $30,000 more, and that will give us more than enough money to purchase this field. But now, here is the dilemma that I have is, do we just become field, like rich in field land, but financially just unable to purchase the equipment that we need to take care of the fields, or even lease? I shouldn't even say purchase. I should just say lease the equipment that we need in order to take care of those fields. That presents a problem all in itself, because if I can't take care of the fields and I can't do what I need to do, then why even really buy a field in the first place? So we might need to go back to the drawing board here and take a look at a different field. I mean, do we do it? Must deliver 580,700 liters. Can keep, this is big right here, can keep 37,000 liters, which means we're going to profit an additional $5,800. Which means on top of the approximate $34,000 that we're going to make, we're also going to get a $5,000 bump based off the bales that we are actually going to be able to profit off of. We have the Crone mower, which is not going to be an issue at all. That's going to haul the mail through this grass field. It's Field 10. Let's go take a look at Field 10 real quick. There it is right there. Pretty decent sized field. So that it is going to take us a little while. The baling is going to be the worst part. The baling and wrapping is going to be the slowest part of the whole entire operation, just because it's just going to be the slowest part. So we don't need to worry about tethering, anything like that. We're good to go there. I probably wouldn't even actually end up using this windrower. I have a different idea that we could use for the baler here. Plus, I think the Crone does swath dropping, so we wouldn't even really have to worry about doing windrowing, if I'm being completely honest with you. And yeah, this bale trailer right here, yeah, it's not going to cut it. We're not interested in that one. What we are interested in would be one of these style bale loaders that we have down here. This holds 32 bales. That one right there, I'm not necessarily certain how many that holds. But big thing with these, one, first and foremost, auto loading. Big win. Big W right there. Two, they haul 32 bales at a time, so we would be clearing that field up in a matter of minutes. And that would be the only piece of equipment that we would really have to lease for this contract. So it's not really going to cost us a whole bunch of extra money. My only real true concern is I'm just not a big baling contract fan, to be honest with you, but I feel like $37,000. The other option is we risk it for the biscuit, and we just move in to the month of October, see what contracts we have available, and we only focus on buying just Field 22 for right now. That's it. We wouldn't worry about 51 at the moment. It's not going anywhere. It's always going to be there. It's always going to be an option. I think we move into the month of October. I think we take a look at the contracts that we have available, and we kind of plan it out from there. All right, it is a very dark early morning here in the month of October. I'm out here in the garage, was just kind of looking at all the space that we have. Let me go ahead and shut this door so that not everyone... What? Hello? Is there not? There's not a door? There's not a door right there? That's weird. I'd like to also be able to get up top. I feel like that would be an excellent storage location for stuff. Just stuff. I don't even know what we'd put up there. Anyways, back to the point. Contracts. Month of October. Stay focused. Stay focused. Yep. Harvest a cotton field. Sugar beet field. Now, this one here has jumped off the page at me. Harvesting sunflowers. Really think this would be a fine contract for us to do. And we'd only have to lease one piece of equipment with this one. One piece. Because, listen, we got to deliver 125,000 liters of sunflower. I'm getting a trailer that can handle all 125,000 liters so that we're not making 8 trips to feed ingrained south with sunflowers. Yeah, it's not happening. We would definitely have to get ourselves a larger trailer. Plowing contracts, ladies and gentlemen, they're going to continue to show up. Look at this one. 3 hours and 11 minutes. No thanks. Not happening. Not interested. It's too much time. Too much time. We need the quick, like, chop. We need to be making some money. Another baling contract showed up. Yes, the field is significantly smaller. Yes, it is saying that it will take us 35 minutes to complete this contract. We're only going to make $16,000, which I say that like I'm snubbing my nose at it, but realistically, I'd rather just come down here and harvest sunflowers. We're going to make whatever we can make off the 8,000 liters right here. Hour and 37 minutes, $19,000. I think that actually puts us where we need to be for being able to purchase the field. And then if not, we can also come back and take a look at probably doing, the cotton field harvest wouldn't be that bad, but these things are just not the fastest harvesters in the world. Cultivating contracts wouldn't be bad. Yeah, I guess we just need to stop delaying the inevitable, and we just need to harvest ourselves some sunflowers. Let's make sure that we actually borrow the items. Boom, done. Okay. Can't see a thing. Can't see not a thing. We actually don't want to be in that tractor for right now. What we do want to be in is the Kloss Lexian Harvester, the 8900 series, Butamus. What's the capacity? I didn't think about that. I didn't think about the capacity of this combine harvester. But the nice thing is, field 39, not that far from us. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going. What are we doing? Let's get it together. Let's get our act together. Let's act like we farmed a few fields in our time before. Let's get this harvester under control here. Let's focus up. It's an important day. We're about to invest into our first field. And to be fully committed here to getting as much work as possible done. I am more than likely going to up our time scale back to 5 times. Just so it doesn't stay dark for the next 6 hours in game. I'm going to go down here with the Kloss to field 39. I'm going to get started on the sunflower harvest. And then once we have that completed, we will look at... I need to get the trailers down. Well, we're going to wait until we get a full harvester full of sunflower seeds, or sunflowers. And then we'll move a tractor and a trailer down here so we can keep offloading the combine as required throughout the harvest. Once we have some delivery runs done, give you guys a bit of a status update of where we are with the money situation. I still don't think this is really going to... Oop, I backed into a car. That's not a way that you want to start your morning. This is the wrong field. This is not the right field. I'm telling you, we're losing it. We're losing it. This is the right field, however. It's right here. Perfect. Let's go ahead and lower this down. Let's unfold the harvester. Let's not fold the header back up. I'm telling you, we are everywhere in this episode right now. Everywhere. Let's bump our working speed up so that we can do a little fast farming. And away we go. Let's get started on our sunflower harvest here for this contract. Oh yeah, we are gonna be cruising. Don't get stuck on the telephone pole. Just skip over those sunflowers. It's fine. They don't need to be harvested anyways. I'm going to make a pass here on the headlands, and I might get an AI worker going while we run back and grab the tractor and trailer so we can come back down here. By that point, we might be ready to offload the first bit of the sunflowers out of the harvester. We're going to try to keep this thing running as much as we can so that we don't have any lost time to this being stopped, awaiting any sort of offload of grain or anything like that, because I'd like to get this contract completed as soon as possible. So I'm going to get back to work here. I'm going to focus on getting these headlands knocked out, getting an AI worker hired, go down, grab tractor trailer. We'll catch up with y'all here in just a little while and give you some updates as to where we are with completing this contract. Well, all right, we are nearing the end of the sunflower harvesting contract here on field 39. We've already made one delivery to the drop-off point for the sunflowers, and that put us at 59% complete for the transport. I believe we currently have enough in the trailer to finish the transport part of the contract and basically, in essence, finish the contract. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull as much sunflower off of this field as I can in hopes that we will make a bit extra money here towards the end of the harvest. See, stuff like that's kind of costly. I need to clean that stuff up over there. I'm just leaving behind a little bit of sunflower. We'll have plenty of space to kind of clean the field up, and then we'll tip all of this into our grain cart. We'll jump into Valtra and we'll take the sunflowers back down to the grain drop-off point per the contract. And at which point, this really should 100% finish this contract. We'll be able to collect on not only the harvest that that is for us as part of the contract, but also the contract money itself. And I'm hoping at that point we have enough money to probably look at a couple different options for some land. I kind of got to thinking about it, and realistically, I'm starting to think maybe we just find ourselves a cheaper field. So that way we have money that we can also invest into equipment. So let me finish cleaning up this sunflower field here. I'll tip the rest into our grain cart. We'll head on down to the grain point, drop off the sunflower seeds, collect on the contract, and then we'll take a look at some smaller fields and then also possibly some equipment that we may be able to afford as well. Moving what should definitely be the last load of the sunflowers for that field. At least, I mean, it's got to be because there's no more sunflowers to harvest. So this is going to be the final load. We should make, I'm going to say maybe a couple thousand extra dollars off turning this load of sunflowers into the grain mill, but we're not going to make a ton of money by any stretch of the imagination. Once I have all this tipped, we'll go ahead, we'll collect on a contract. We're going to take a look at those fields. I think I am leaning more towards the idea of just buying a smaller field for a cheaper price, and then maybe taking a look at a tractor that we might be able to afford. Even if it is in the small variation, I mean, something is better than nothing, and we can at least have our own tractor to start doing some of our field work with. So dumping the sunflowers in, we see there is the finished on contract. Ooh, we actually made $9,200. And the more important part is we now have a 10% discount from Adrian Hooper. So we already had a 5% discount for doing field work for that individual, and so now we are up to 10%. We'll go ahead and return that leased trailer there, And let's jump into our contracts. We are officially complete with that. So we're actually, oh man, we're only gonna make $15,000. Plus the $9,000 that we made. I mean, it's not horrible. 80,000 liters. That cannot be right. See, it's a carryover from Field 10's baling contract. I was going to say, there is no way we pulled 580,000 liters off that field. I can assure you of that. But collect. Done with that. $125,000 now that we have the contract income. Let's come up here and take a look at our fields and see what we are going to do. Now, technically, we're $2,000 short being able to afford Field 13. So some other options that I was looking at was Field 23, which we could afford, and that would leave us $10,000 left over. It's not really the preferred method here. It's not what I want to really do. But if push came to shove, it is an option. Field 32 is $86,000. It leaves us about $40,000 in our pocket. We could still afford to lease equipment. Here's the big thing with Field 32. The expected yield percentage is 107%. Sandy loam and loam are some of the better soil conditions for yields, which here you can see we got a lot of silty clay. That's going to be a high seed usage rate when we go to plant that field, 97% there. Field 9, 100% silty clay. Definitely want to stay away from that, 89% yield. Field 8 wasn't a bad option, $82,000 still. But anyways, I don't know. Maybe it's Field 32 that we go for. Field 18, I feel like, is just too small for what we're going to get off of it. Plus, I think right now it's planted with either sugar beet or potatoes, and I just don't feel like dealing with those. Matter of fact, speaking of which, what is Field 32 planted with? Let me guess. Potatoes. Sure is. Yeah, we'd have to plow that in. Not doing a potato harvest. Not happening. But it's not far from the house. We could manage that pretty fairly. Gonna have to do it. That leaves us with $38,000 remaining in the bank. Let's go down and take a look at our brand new field of potatoes. So these potatoes have actually been harvested, which is not bad for us because now we can plow this field up, and then we can come over here and we can do our soil samples. We have enough money to afford to be able to lease a tractor, lease a plow, and then also pick up the soil sampler and knock out this field here as far as soil sampling is concerned. The problem that we have right now is, realistically, we're in the month in which we need to plant. So I think what we're going to end up doing is we kind of have our game plan for next episode 4 of the Frankenmuth Farm series, where we are going to start our work on this field right here. Now, why? That's not my field. Never mind. Hold up. That's why we didn't have crop destruction. I knew it was turned on. There it is. Field 30. This is the field we own right here. This is the one. But same deal, right? It's potatoes. It's been harvested, which is good for us. We just need to plow the field, get some soil sampling taken care of. Not a fan of this big dip that we have right here in this field, but we'll make do with that. This field is actually pretty good size, especially for a crop like potatoes. Definitely going to say that you could pull a fair yield off of this and make some decent money off potatoes, but they're just so time consuming to take care of. But this is it. Back to what I was just saying at the incorrect field. But for episode 4 coming up, we're going to finish out the month of October by plowing in Field 30, taking our soil samples and getting this field prepped and ready for probably going to do a little bit of that wheat in this field. And maybe we wait until the springtime and we do some oat. But the problem we run into there is, what are we going to do for money throughout the wintertime? Could put some greenhouses down, sure, but the greenhouses that we have on hard economy aren't really going to make us a ton of money. We do have upgradable factories, though, so we could look at upgrading the greenhouses to produce a little bit more product to make us just a little bit more money. But I'm super stoked to get started with Field 30 in the next episode here on Frankenmuth Farms. Hope you guys are just as excited. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. to the channel so that you can check out all of the farming sim content. Ring the alert bell, by the way, so you can get notified of when new episodes are dropping in your favorite series. Once again, to all of you out there that have been supporting the channel lately, again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I really appreciate all the support. I think the beginner series, 5 Things I Wish I'd have Known, has just eclipsed 3,000 views, which is just astronomical to me. I never thought I'd put a video out that would get north of 500 views, and then this video now is over 3,000. Thank you to all of you that are supporting the channel. I hope you continue to support the channel. Hope you're enjoying the content. Continue to leave the comments down below. I'll get to them. I'll respond to them. I'll thumbs up them. I will like the comments. Much appreciation to y'all. And with that, we'll catch you in the next episode.